Well, welcome, ladies. I'm going to go ahead and start. And if people are popping in, they can catch up with us, okay? And I just want to say welcome and thank you for joining me today and this week. I do have some exciting guest speakers coming on. We have a local lady, Janice Chrysler, coming in on tomorrow to speak to us about balancing life in our new working world, working from home and how to balance it and whatnot, mentally and physically and emotionally. And then on Thursday, we're going to have a gentleman by the name of Joel Manabal, and he's from Toronto, and he is a digital technology strategist, and he is a wealth of information. I have known Joel for about 10 years now, and have done a lot of work for him. And so we're great business colleagues that share a lot of information back and forth and help each other. So he's a wealth of information, and I know you'll both love him. And he's excellent. And then on Friday, we have Patrick Tinney coming in from Peterborough. He is a sales strategist, and he has written so many sales books. And he's going to talk about his first book called Perpetual Hunger, and how to do some prospecting in this whole new world, especially using video and email. Okay, so going into today's topic is myself, and hopefully you guys can see my screen. Whoops, sorry. There, sharing my screen, I can see now. And I want to talk to you about the power of storytelling. Okay, it's the new way of marketing. Okay, and building your brand. And this is just an excellent way to get the word out. Okay, so stories are one of the most powerful tools you can use to engage and connect with your audience. This is how you're going to build your customer loyalty now, and it is absolutely the most wonderful way of doing it. People will really connect with you and listen to what you have to say. So stories, your story needs to be emotional, okay? Stories, the emotions from your stories is what actually drives and builds the brand, okay? So the stories also give you lots of color and depth, and it takes that dull, mundane material that you would normally use in a text content and change it around. So building your brand. Now, connecting with the message in a more deeper and meaningful way, this is what your story is going to do. Okay, your story is going to take the message, and it's going to build a deep relationship. Okay, it's going to give it more impact, more power. Okay, that way then your potential customers can connect with your product and service and your whole entire business in a way. Now, a good brand story will encourage customers to engage with you on another level, creating an experience that you can share with others. Now, a big part of your story is your personality. Okay, your personality actually demonstrates your brand's sense of humor and your company's principles, and who you are as a business owner too, and how you're going to deliver your products and services to your clients. So why is storytelling and marketing so effective? Well, it's based on experience. It's based on your personality. It's based on sharing your content and sharing your life. And it's science. A lot of people think, well, how can it be science? But it is. It's something that moves us or evokes us to emotional response. So that's where the science comes in. And then the retention. A lot of studies have been done that people will retain more information through a story rather than through a fact or just a one-line statement. Now, how are you going to harness the power of the storytelling? Well, It's done by connecting with emotion, okay? It's all about finding that emotional core of your message. Emotions combined with information becomes memorable and actionable, okay? So you want to think about a memorable day that you had when you first start your business, when it was first starting up. That's a good spot to start, okay? To start building your story. Something that is going to be such a positive impact that customers will relate to. And it might be something that might be a little bit hurtful too, because sometimes customers will relate to a little bit of hurt and can relate to it. Like, so if you had a growing pain and you want to help somebody else, it's a good point. It's a good place to start building your story. Oh, here comes another one. So with this being said, the connecting with emotion is the most is just an enormous part of building your branding. Okay, now taking the power of your story, you have to be authentic. If you're not authentic, nobody's going to relate to you. Okay, so you must focus on how you're going to serve your audience. It's a pure intention when you're truly focused on improving or enhancing their lives, okay? So everything that comes out of your heart is always authentic, okay? And you want to make sure that you're delivering lots of value in your story, okay? Because the value that you're delivering will help to empower others, okay? And it'll start building and creating a brand for you that is solid and is basically on the go. So being authentic is truly a number one in my eyes that you have to be. Now, to know when you need to stop. Interesting enough, a lot of people, when they tell their stories, they seem to ramble on a little bit. Well, you have to know when to stop because you start to lose your client's attention span. So you don't want to make sure. So there's some key points here. You don't want to fire information at an audience if the environment isn't right. Okay, first and foremost. You need to assess your area, your situation, to find if it's the right time to use the power of your story and the message that you want to convey. Now, sometimes the best way to get through to an audience is not by starting off by sharing a story, but to listen to what your audience has to say, okay? What they want to know. It's your way of getting to know your audience, okay? You need to understand what they truly need, and then that way then you can craft your story to meet their needs, okay? And that's where the value is going to come in. Now you also need to recognize the moments of opportunity, listening and learning about your customer stories and how they, in that way then you know how to best serve them, okay? It's quite an adventure. Just sitting back, I like to people watch, and that's what I call this, is sometimes just people watching your clients or your prospects on Facebook. Observe how they speak on Facebook or LinkedIn and how they communicate with others, okay? That tells you a lot right there on the social media. And if you hear they do videos about their products and services, or they're talking about their needs, whatever it may be, you can then hear the impact, okay? And you can take that impact and build it onto yours in order to convert them into from being a prospect to a customer. Now, social media, one of the biggest things is giving the value to your followers, okay? If you don't give value, you won't have the impact, okay? Now, you can reach hundreds or even thousands of followers on Facebook or even LinkedIn or Instagram, Twitter. But what you need to do is you got to be able to share your story out. Okay, you can share it to a link to a blog. You can share it to a group or create a video. Video is the #1 way right now on social media. It attracts a lot of attention. People like videos, okay? If you keep it under 3 minutes, they'll watch the whole thing. If it's longer than 3 minutes, they're not going to watch it, okay? They're going to just skim it and then shut it off after a certain point of time. So the shorter the video, the more impact you'll get from it. Okay, so now one thing to keep in mind, every story you tell needs to be informative. It needs to entertain or impact your clients in some meaningful way. So when you do your video, I always like to suggest to maybe practice a little bit before you go live if you're not used to going live, and or creating a video professionally and having it done so that it's consistently there for you to share out throughout social media or on your website or anywhere that will help in building your brand. Now, one of the things that I like to do is telling your story during a sales meeting or a presentation, and having a good sales script is a great impact, and it can usually convert to clients. But however, your story can actually push a person over the edge, okay? And then they'll start to work with you. One of the things that I like to always talk about is how I created my business, the struggle that I had. And that was back in 1999. I basically was going through a divorce. I needed to work part-time with my full-time job in order to make ends meet. And one of the things that I did with my life was rebuild it so that I could work with others and help them through some of the issues that I was going through. And I have built a business around all the changes in my life, and it made it into a more positive life for myself and going forward. And I don't look at the past anymore. The past is the past, but now the future is changing. So changing my story, yes, I'm going to change my story up here the next little while and come up with a different one. But it's something that evolves over the years, okay? Having your initial one to get your brand going, and then as your brand builds and changing it is a good thing, okay? Because we always have multiple stories to tell, and they always give, as long as they have some impact to drive your customer base and keep them coming back to you, you'll always win ahead, okay? It's the stories, what you're talking about, building your brand will actually build your business faster than you can imagine. Now, using your stories if you have employees, or even if they're contract employees or subcontractors, you want to talk to them about your company's missions and your core values. That is really important, because if they understand where you're coming from, they can actually help you grow your business. Okay? If you can say to them, oh, we just won this big bid. Okay? If you talk to them about what's going on in the business and what's happening and how much it's growing, those people will actually help you grow your business. And what are they going to do? They're going to spread the word about your products and your services. And once word of mouth starts going, it doesn't stop, because that is the best form of advertisement. So your story can actually be out there, and people are going to be talking about you, and then they're going to just start visiting your website to see who you are and to basically do some research. Okay? So spreading the word about your products and services, use your employees, use your subcontractors, tell them about what's going on in your company. Don't leave them out. Let them know, because that is the best form of advertising. Now, your brand there's 3 reasons why your brand storytelling is the future of marketing. And interesting enough, I've done a lot of research in the last little while, and these are the 3 ones that just keep coming back to me, okay? So the first one is, in a sea of sameness, be unforgettable. So basically, it's a crowded marketplace out there. There's thousands of businesses. We're all spending money in the world to get a few seconds of attention from audiences, okay? But a lot of people have all the same messages. Well, you need to create your own message, and your brand story will actually do that for you, okay? So talk about your history in your story if you want, your challenges, your successes, okay? Make sure it's your story and not somebody else's brand that you can copy, okay? That's not good, because that's not showing who you are. And this is where the word authentic comes in. You need to be able to show people who you are, and they will relate much faster and much more easier, and there'll be that much more of a conversion to get them from a prospect to a client or a full paying customer. So the second one is, more customers build a tribe, okay? So when you're crafting your message, think about your audience and what they truly need from you, okay? In addition to a product or a service, you might want to add on, or you might want to take a look. For instance, you're selling meat products. Well, what meat products are all my customers looking for? Okay, so you need to take a look at your audience and what they're asking for, and what can you do to help them, and build it that way. Now, one of the things is, with storytelling, for your brand to take off, it needs to become so much more than your products and service. And that's where you're going to connect with emotions. You're going to be authentic. Okay. All these are all coming back. And you got to make sure that you have value there as well. And sometimes when you're crafting your story, you're going to get some ideas that are going to come from your customers that you have right now. They might give you an idea that you can say, oh, that's a good point, I need to add that in. Use all your resources, but think about your emotions, think about your values, and put it all together. Okay, now I have a nice big worksheet that I can offer to anybody who wants it, and it's step by step on how to craft your story. And I can email that out. You just have to send me a little thing in the chat box there, and I can make notes and get it emailed over to you. Okay. Now, one of the things is, the third thing that we want to talk about in the 3 reasons about the future is being profitable and being human. Okay. So a brand story can do so much more than connect with your ideal audience. It has the potential of creating a major impact to drive profit. So if you have a good, strong story, you can see your profits starting to increase. And it usually happens within about 2 to 6 weeks. You'll see a change as you get your story out there more often, especially on social media. And if you're looking for, if you have an online store, or you just have a workshop that you want to promote, make sure when you promote that workshop, you're promoting a story with it, so that the people then will drive right through. Okay. Now, you want to make sure that your story is human in a way. Okay, so storytelling is the most ancient and powerful tool for effective education. And I think we all know that. We are genetically wired to love and respond to stories. I know I love hearing stories. It always makes me smile to hear somebody say something very positive about their business, or what's happening in their personal life. And I think we all get that feeling anyways. But when you're connecting with your audience for business, they like that too, because it shows who you are and what you can do to help them. Okay. So one of the things that you want to do is make sure you have a lasting positive impression of who you are and what you stand for. Okay, so always keep in mind, if you have a mission statement, what that mission statement is and how can you use that in your story. Okay, and your core values are important as well. Now, I want to thank you for joining me today. And if anyone has any questions, please pop them in the chat box, or I can mute everyone and we can have a conversation. Hi. I'll just unmute everyone here, so just 1 second. Hello, Louise.
Hey, Shari, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm good. I'm sorry I was late. Computer issues.
No problem. I'm just unmuting everyone. Okay, so we're all unmuted. Does anyone have any questions in regards to what I presented in regards to building your story? I do have the whole presentation on my website where you can go and download it, okay? It is a PDF file, and it's in the tab that says Business Growth, and you can go in there and download the PDF file for the presentation today.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. Kathy?
I did.
Oh, go ahead, Louise.
I did send you a message about getting the storytelling document.
Okay, great. Kathy, how did you find it? Did you, I think it was your new business and you got some products out there that are everyone needs, or especially the ones who aren't vegan?
Well, I can't really help the vegan very much.
No, no.
But no, it was really interesting. I try and really have a lot of that in there anyway, but
Yeah.
I would like also the form
Okay.
to fill out, because you never know, when it's in writing it looks a little different than what's in your head too.
Yes, that's true. And I usually have about 3 stories that I like to run with, and it makes life a little bit easier when you're marketing. It depends on what you're doing and who your audience is, okay? Because I have so many different services that I offer, so I have about 3 different stories that go with that when I'm doing my marketing. So in your case, you could actually go with 2 stories. Your meat products and then your firewood that you sell as well.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Olga, I'm quite sure you have some great stories. I know you do.
I do, absolutely. I guess my whole thing is, so much of the stories is so personal because it's such a heavy topic that sometimes I think about, not overwhelming people with the heaviness of it. So I have to find a way where it's a little bit lighter or inspirational or something like that. I've done a couple of videos and I hear you. I have to really look at, the length of them, and especially where I'm sharing them and where to send people. My other issue is, it's kind of silly because I keep learning and changing. Some of the stuff that I've done that now is like, yes, now is the time. People are ready to hear this. To me, it's like it's old.
Right.
Because so much of my business is about me and my knowledge, right? It's not that's the product, right? My product is how I can assist folks.
Right.
So I have to find the happy balance between this is okay. People understand that you're still growing and put it out there.
Yeah, exactly. And one of the things
ongoing struggle.
Yeah. One of the things about videos is LinkedIn and Facebook like videos that are no more than 3 minutes. Okay. If you're going to go past that 3-minute mark, make sure that you find go through it and see if you can crop it a bit, okay? And because sometimes I've done it myself where you just get on and you get rambling, and then you realize, well, people don't really want to hear that. They'll shut it down, and it's happened. Like I've had videos that I've been about 3.5 minutes, and about the 2.5 to the 3 minute mark, they're ready to shut it down.
Yeah, I do it. I mean, again, right? Does it grab me? Is it? And so it's the art of, you know, the art of the grab. Maybe that's a good title for a book.
Yes, it is.
You know, how do you grab people? Especially now, we can't necessarily, right? We can't be in the elevator together. So now we're online, and it's a very quick flip of the thumb. So how do I grab them? In those first 3 seconds, so they stay on for 10 and eventually for the 3 minutes.
That's right. They say the people will stay on for at least 33 seconds. Okay, that's what the statistics have showing from the talking with Facebook and LinkedIn, the background people. Being a social media manager, I get to see a lot of different things.
Inside scoop.
Yes. And one of the things is that 33 seconds is actually the key number to get your audience attention. So if that helps anybody at all, when you're doing your videos, just think about your first 33 seconds and how you're going to grab what is going to be your attention grabber. And that's where it goes. And then they'll stay on with you as long as you have the value there for them, they'll stay on and watch it right through to the end. Okay. Now, Kathy, I would like to suggest a video for you. Take a walk through your pasture with your cows and show how they're grass-fed and organic. Okay. Be a really good marketing point for you to move forward to get more clients to coming in to purchasing your products. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Louise, I would like to suggest to you, you like to do organizing, and that's one of your passions, and helping people organize their home life and what's their closets and whatnot. And
Yes.
I think you and I should get together because I have about 3 closets here, and we need to do a marketing video for you on how you can help a customer do this. And I think you'll see your organizing services take off.
That'd be awesome, Shari.
Yeah.
Great.
Okay. Olga, I'm not too sure how I can help you with the video.
I do.
Okay.
Yes, I do. I actually have, so one of the things is I'm gonna take your 33 seconds, 3 minutes, and then what I'm gonna create is actually a dialogue. So me talking to, let's say it could be you, we could set it up, right?
Right.
And as a way of, you know, this is what the conversation may look like. And sort of, you know, it could be a 10 minutes, and because I can ask certain questions and what have you, you know, we can kind of like illustrate the process of what it might look like to have conversations that are not
so easy
not very
to have.
comfortable. Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, because I've done it. You know, it's like a case study, and I've done it before, and I know that it's also very useful for the people that I train, so they can see what does that look like. You know.
Yes, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would love to go and do that with all 3 of you. Actually, to be, I think it would be fun, and it would be a good learning curve for me to learn something different too. But each one of your businesses as well. Okay, and you know, Kathy, I grew up on a farm, as you know. I know a lot about your business, but there's probably an aspect that I don't know about. And same with you, Louise. You know, organizing, going into somebody's home. Used to be able to do that, but I don't think you can so much now. I think people are just a little too leery, but somehow we should be able to help them virtually and get you going again.
Yep, absolutely. Yep.
Yeah. So anyways, I hope you guys have enjoyed this. I'm in that tomorrow Janice is coming on. She's a local lady here in Marmara, and I think Olga, I know you know her.
I do.
And she is a wealth of information, and I think all of you will enjoy her. I'm actually looking forward to hearing what she has to say. And we had quite a chat yesterday about so many topics, and I had to get it all narrowed down. So, but no, she's going to be a wealth of information, and I'm really looking forward to Janice coming on. I'm looking forward to having Joel come on, as well as Patrick. And I'm going to make sure all their content is available on the website for you guys to download.
Okay.
Okay?
Awesome.
And that way then you have the information to work with. Okay? So if you guys are interested in the workbook for how to how to create your story, I can certainly email that off to you, or is it just better just to throw it on the website for you to download?
If you could email it, that would be great.
Email?
Yeah, email would be good.
Okay,
Yes.
perfect.
That works for me.
Okay, well, that's easy problem solved. Okay, excellent.
Awesome.
Well, it's been a short day here, or a short hour, so that's okay. It's all good. I have recorded the session, and I'm going to do that for the next 3 days as well. So if anybody wants the audio recordings, I can certainly make sure that they get emailed over to everyone. Okay?
Awesome. Thanks, Shari.
Oh, you're welcome.